Hello, my name is Bagong and you are watching Rappler. We are in Lawag, Ilocos Norte, right in front of the Centennial Arena where just a few minutes ago, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. framed the 2025 elections as a choice, a crossroads between his Bagong Pilipinas, the current state of the Philippines, and the past of the Philippines, where he mentioned the Philippines was jokingly called or could have been a province of China, where leaders where bloodshed happened in the streets and affecting the Filipino children. Again, I'm Bagong, you're watching Rappler, and we are covering and we're going to give you a recap of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas kickoff here in Lawag City. The Alyansa is the 12-person slate backed by the administration and endorsed, of course, by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Now, this is the kickoff of a 90-day national campaign period, for national candidates in the 2025 elections. Now, Marcos himself will be the chief campaigner of the 12-man slate. Of course, what he wants or what he's trying to say is that these 12 candidates will help him best further the agenda in the last 3 years of his administration. Now, pointing out yung 12-person slate, itong fact na ito ay hinighlight ni President Marcos with the 12 candidates behind him. And he said that other coalitions or other slates or their competition could not even muster a 12-person slate or a complete slate for the Senate. He also didn't stop there. He also emphasized na yung 12 people sa slate niya ay composed of people with a lot of experience. Legislators in the past, several in the slate are either Senate returnee hopefuls or sitting members of the House of Representatives. Several of them were governors, mayors, or lawyers, or at one point in their lives held cabinet posts, whether it be his administration or the administrations in the past. Yung isang linya ni President Marcos, sabi niya walang OJT dito. Or kumbaga, these 12, he said, or the 12 that he is endorsing, will hit the ground running should they win a seat in the Senate. Now, we keep on talking about the 12-person slate. Let's rattle down who is part of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas. We're going to go through this alphabetically. Former Interior Secretary Benher Abalos, Makati Mayor Abby Binay, re-election is Senator Pia Cayetano, re-election is Senator Ping Lacson. We have re-election is Senator Lito Lapid. Ping Lacson is not a re-electionist, but he's seeking a return to the Senate. We also have re-electionist Senator Amy Marcos, the sister of the President, and a former governor of Ilocos Norte. We're going to talk about her speech a little more later because it was quite interesting. We also have Senate returning aspirant Manny Pacquiao, re-electionist Bong Revilla, former Senate President who is also again seeking a fresh 6-year Senate term, Tito Soto, re-electionist Francis Tolentino, ACT-CIS representative and former Social Welfare Secretary Erwin Tulfo, and finally Deputy House Speaker Camille Villar. Nag-joke pa nga yung Pangulo na parang yung iba daw, parang inutusan lang bumili ng suka, nag-file na ng COC. So that was his way of contrasting the wealth of experience that his 12-person slate that he endorses has compared to the competition. But again, he did not stop there. He took a lot of time in drawing comparisons and kumbaga, bukod sa governance track record ng slate niya, may mga pasaring siya, may mga parinig din siya. Ayon sa kanya, wala daw ni isa sa Senate slate niya ay may bahid ng dugo, dala ng tukhang or oplan tukhang, again, shorthand for the drug war under former President Rodrigo Duterte. Sabi niya rin, none of the 12 clapped for China. Rather pointed message there. He also said none of them kumita daw mula sa pandemic. Meron ding wala ni isa sa 12-person slate niya ay mga false prophets or nagyurak sa ating kabataan at kababahian. He also mentioned na walang kinalaman sa Pogo yung 12-person slate niya. So it's very clear that the President wants to draw this comparison between his slate or the admin bets and the other bets that he is not endorsing. He used the words crossroads in Tagalog, of course. Again, in choosing this path between the Bagong Pilipinas that he has promised for the past several years, or that he is, kumbaga yun yung tagline ng administration niya, and again, hearkening to the past of the Philippines. He made references, either explicit or implicit, to the drug war, to Philippine-China relations. Now, you would recall na under President Marcos, the Philippines has taken a very different stance on the West Philippine Sea and including China, at least compared to former President Rodrigo Duterte, di ba? Under Marcos, the Philippines has become more assertive and more aggressive in asserting its sovereign rights and sovereignty claims in the West Philippine Sea. That's a part of the South China Sea, na kasama doon EEZ or Exclusive Economic Zone ng Philippines. I also want to highlight several speeches that were quite interesting during the kick-off doon. Of course, all 12 candidates delivered their speeches. Most of them highlighted either their experience or their pet legislation that they would introduce should they win a Senate seat. Yung isang interesting na speech, Senator Bong Revilla made a reference to his past. Of course, he was once under arrest over his alleged connection to the pork barrel scam, but he framed it this way, na parang kumbaga, hindi he transcended or he was able to overcome yung pag-atake sa kanya. That is how he framed it. Senator Ping Lacson made reference to his experience when he was a young officer in the constabulary during the martial law years. But most interesting, I think, would be Senator Amy Marcos's speech delivered fully in Ilocano. Kaya yung mga hindi nakaka-Ilocano sa media, medyo hindi naintindihan kaagad kung anong sinasabi ni Senator Amy. But Senator Marcos immediately acknowledged yung, kumbaga, yung mga chismis na pumapaligid sa Marcos family. Parang in her speech, she acknowledged na not all family members or family does not always get along. Parang kumbaga magtaka daw kayo kung hindi nag-aaway. Reminded an arena full of Ilocanos here at the Centennial Arena na siya ay isang Marcos. Isang linya niya kanina ay Marcos in the past, Marcos presently, and Marcos forever. Nag-alliteration din siya at binanggit niya na ay me dati, ay me ngayon, ay me forever. So those are just some of the interesting speeches from the kick-off earlier today. Ngayon, yung interesting for me dito, no, yung pag-frame ni Marcos sa midterm elections, not as a referendum or not as a check on how well or badly the administration is doing, but again, he's framing it as a choice between the direction he's taking the Philippines to, or the Philippines choosing a backward path, or the path that we once trudged without explicitly saying the previous administration under Rodrigo Duterte. And that will be an interesting thing to see in the coming days as the 90 days progress in the national campaign. No? How Marcos will further that message, how Malacanang will further that message, of course. He has the bully pulpit as the President of the Philippines. And more importantly din, paano yan i-move forward ng senatorial candidates of the admin coalition. Another thing to note, there was no mention at all about the biggest political event that happened just before the campaign kickoff, the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. Earlier today, during the press conference and a chance interview with reporters, former Senate President Tito Soto said the impeachment should not be or will not be an election issue. Of course, that's going to be hard to avoid, given over the 90 days, we're going to expect repeated questions sa mga senatorial candidates, not just the admin slate, but every other senatorial candidate, even House hopefuls in the local level once the local campaign kicks in. No? Parang those questions will inevitably arise as the campaign rolls out. Again, ito pa lang yung kick-off ng alyansa at ng lahat ng mga senatorial candidates across the Philippines. We'll see where this message goes, but so far it's clear again, President Marcos drawing a very clear choice for the voters. No? It's either you choose the Bagong Pilipinas that I'm offering and my candidates are offering, or you choose the past of the Philippines, which obviously he painted as a not so desirable past where leaders clap for China. There's blood in the hands of leaders because related to Tokhang and the drug war. So that'll be an interesting development. That's the latest here in Lawag. Again, I am in front of the Centennial Arena for the kickoff of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas coalition. They will have other kickoffs as well in Luzon. Nasa Luzon nga pala tayo ngayon. May kick-off din sa Visayas, may kick-off sa Mindanao. Meron din kick-off sa Metro Manila. Keep it on Rappler. We will be giving you updates whether through a live stream or quick recaps like this to help you better understand yung narratives na nabubuo dito sa election na ito. At kung meron kayong komento tungkol sa mga narrative or sa mga kwento na nilalahad ni President Marcos ng 12 candidates ng Alyansa, pwede kayong pumunta sa Philippine Politics community chat. It's on the Rappler app or you can access it through the Rappler site. And you can give your opinions there. I'm there. All the other reporters covering the 2025 elections are there. We'll see you there. You can continue the conversation on the Rappler community chat. Again, this has been Bea Cupin. You have been watching Rappler, covering the kickoff of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas.